Okay, hi, I'm Dr. Nikita Vizniak, and today I'm here with the amazing super therapist and trainer,
Sherry Kim.
and we are going to go through and take you through some low back strengthening and stretching exercises you might want to incorporate to improve function and decrease your risk of injury, as well as just have a better day overall. All right, so here we go. So what are some of the key things that we want to do? Is mobility usually is how we start. Where do you usually like to start, Sherry?
Well, you can just do some basic things, touching your toes.
Yep.
Yawning and leaning back for extension.
But even that was a nice movement too, just the bringing both hands up. This is a power position. There's good research on that, actually supporting positive mood affect changes as well when you lift your hands up, okay? Even if you have an injury in your low back, you want to explore the damaged area. So you can push into it a little bit, as long as it's not getting above about a 3 out of 10 or it's causing you sharp pain that you think is going to cause further injury. Challenge yourself into those ranges. So we'll get Sherry to bend forward and touch her toes again. One of the key things that I look for in patients is, does their back actually round out? For some people, their back doesn't round out. They stay very straight. They're scared to move it. And that's where we kind of start breaking down that area a little bit with some other exercises. Usually what I'll progress into right after this is just a simple cat-cow. So give us a demo of a cat-cow.
Right, just on your knees like this. And then you're going to try and push into your hand and curl your back. And then from there, you're going to just bring your spine back down.
Yeah,
and a little curve.
Exactly. And Sherry, we'll get you this way just a little bit.
Well.
You wouldn't believe how many people with low back injuries are unable to do this action. They'll have a bias either one way or another. They'll maybe have really good flexion, so she'll push herself up into cat all the way. They'll get up to here, and that'll be no problem. And then they'll go drop into extension. They'll stop right there, and that's as far as they can go. That's okay. Just a little bit of movement is all you're trying to get. Eventually we'll get back to more of that motion if they can drop all the way down. But for right now, that's a good place to start. Okay, so cat-cows are a big win for people. What else?
If you want to go a little bit more advanced from that with your spine, you can do the same like this. You can hover your knees, or you can have it on the ground, wherever you feel comfortable. And then you're going to go up and then do the same thing, but you're pushing one vertebrae at a time. Just like that.
And so the key thing here is look how she's moving, slow motor control all the way through, no real shaking. If you start to shake a little bit, then you want to basically make that your limit and then come out of it. Or if you're holding your breath really hard to try and maintain it, you're working way too hard, so you want a good breath all the way through there, right?
Once you get here, there's also an option to drop down.
Yeah, and that's a nice transition too. A lot of people will like cobra type positions, or even we'll get her lay face down right here, so she's right on the mat. You could even just start with this, something as simple as just lifting your back up a little bit, and you don't even have to go up that high. Even just a little bit coming up to my hand right there, and then dropping back down. And if this is okay, she could progress into something called a Sphinx Pose, where she puts her elbows underneath her shoulders and brings herself up a little bit more. I love this position right here because she can use her own arms to actually distract and lengthen out her back. And if that's okay, then she can push up onto her hands all the way up in the full expression that she already gave us right there. And you can see pretty good range right there, right, for her movement. So yeah, good starting position right there. Okay, what else though? While we're laying down like this, what else do I want to do for strength?
We can do some core stuff while we're on the ground here. So we can do what I call a flat back. All right, so you want to lay on the ground here, have your knees up, and when you lay down and relax yourself, you're going to have a little bit of extension on your lower back. What you want to do is not have any space here, push into the ground. Push your back into the ground as hard as you can, and hold that for as long as you can, really. Yeah,
and we'll just talk about this for a second right here. So again, Cheryl, I'll get you moved this way just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so when she's set up right here, just pushing flat back into the mat or onto the floor, wherever you're doing this, you don't actually need special equipment to do this. She's actually engaging all the way through here a bunch of muscles. Which muscles are you engaging when you do this?
Your deep abdominal muscles.
Like what does that include?
Your internal, external, obliques.
Yep. Transverse abdominis and rectus abdominis are all being engaged, so it's a good way to start. Okay, and especially in acute low back injuries, you actually might only be able to start right here. Why not? Just do these little movements. If I'm on a flight traveling to a seminar series or whatever else it is, I'll sit in the plane and I will just do little back arches back and forth just to help decrease the the load on my spine and get some movement in the tissue there. Okay, what's our progression from here though?
Dead bug.
Okay.
So from there, you're going to bring your legs up, arms up. You're going to do opposite arm and leg. Bring it down as low as you can. You're going to definitely get some shakes. That's actually a good thing because you're working it.
Yep. And Sherry is rehabbing from a fairly significant car accident injury, so yeah, so this is pretty good to see here. Yeah, and good coordination, good control. So you could start off with something as simple, hey, can you extend one leg out? Can you lift one arm up, right? These different variations are what can make this fun and keep it consistent for you, more likely to keep on doing this exercise as well. And it's pretty simple. Another one that you can do that I like, is even while the patient's just laying flat on their back, is I'll get them to do just supine windshield wipers. So again, acute low back injury, you feel like you can't do much. Maybe they can get down that far, and to the other side she can only go this far. That's great. We're just going to stop right there and just explore that range. Go to the range where you feel good, and then come on back. How does that feel? And you're going to do these 2 or 3 times a day at least, just to gradually get fluid movement, stimulate the nervous system, and get yourself more comfortable with those actions. Okay, what else can we do to maintain back strength? You could actually do a bridge from this position right here. So if she's on her bake like this, she can just bring her feet even closer together. And you might just start with a posterior pelvic tilt. So she tilts her pelvis back just a little bit and then lifts herself up just the littlest bit. And maybe that's all you can do, and then you come on back down. Eventually you want to progress so you get all the way up, so she can lift all the way up like this. You're looking for a nice straight line, or if I'm teaching a yoga class, I'll even say you want to get even higher, like you're looking at the big Buddha belly here and sticking it out and all that kind of stuff. So it actually does lengthen out into your shoulders a little bit and gives you good core strength in the back as well. And then come on back down. If you wanted to add a little bit more, you can get the person back up again. So we're going to get you up one more time. And then I'm going to say, can you go ahead and just straighten out this one leg? So now what you're doing is creating that cross stability through the body, and that adds a lot more to it. And I'll even do this. I'll get the leg up, and I think she's going to be okay with this, and I'll let them drop their leg to the side. So you're going to drop it this way. Yeah, well, you can see, and then bring it back up. And then drop down again, and then bring it back up. So that motion right there creates huge torsional stability across the body right there. So a nice way for you to add a little bit more to it. And that's pretty fun, actually. I would enjoy that one too. So, okay, what else can we do, Sherry?
We can do all the planks.
Okay.
Yeah?
Let's do some of the planks.
All right. So we can just do, your basic plank.
It's the same thing. We got to move you this way just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. So you're going to do that. Make sure that you are not dropping or curling.
Yeah.
We want to be in a nice neutral position like that.
But let's say this is too much. I can't even get here. Where could I start? Yeah, exactly, right?
That.
Yeah, just starting on your knees and then just starting to walk your hands out a little bit, as long as you feel safe, and then come on back in. Just do that little walk and challenge a little bit. Once that's okay, then go ahead and go to the full plank variation that she showed. So you're right up here like this. And you really do need feedback on this one, because a lot of people don't realize where they are in space. I do it all the time too. It's not the end of the world if you're not perfectly straight, but really I would get her down just a little bit further. Yeah, like to right about there. And all of a sudden, it challenges you a lot more. If you wanted to add more, even from this, you could just do pelvic tilts, where you tilt the pelvis back a little bit, and then you tilt the pelvis forward a little bit, and even that can change how you actually load through your low back and give you a good proprioceptive input. Okay, what else can we do though, Super Sherry?
We can go onto our side, really challenge ourselves here.
Yep.
If it's too much, again, you can do that. Support yourself with your lower leg.
And even if that's too much, let your hip even just drop right down too. Even just that action right there, it might seem like it's next to nothing, but it's a starting point where you are engaging through some of your core strengthening muscles there.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay? All right, and then we can build it up though. Let's build it up. We're going to add a little more to it. Okay, so she's going to start there. Then she can put her legs straight, go into her regular plank. Okay, so she's up like that. If you wanted, you can get up onto your hand so you're up even higher, so this arm can be straight. All right, and then she's going to go side plank here. Well, just wait, okay, because she's recovering, so we're helping her recover right now. This arm's going to go up. She can go ahead, if it's available, we can lift this leg up a little bit right here, and this is, you can see the shake. This is exactly what we want to get right here. If you want, you can, my kids do this to me all the time. They'll jump on me and actually push down just a little bit from the side. So it adds a lot more to it. Even just this little pushing, you have to stabilize, and even if you bring them back, push them forward, all of that makes it so that all this kinetic chain has to work that much better when you're doing it. Okay? All right, what else can we do? Well, you can actually do rotations from this, right?
Yes.
Like you could transition, perfect.
Yeah.
This is a great one too, because it creates that torsional stability where you might actually grab something in real life and be moving it around, right? Great exercise to do. Yep, nice. Okay, what are we missing though? One of the major exercises that people do every day when they hurt their back and we want to build strength into it, it's going to be something as simple as a deadlift. So how do we do a deadlift?
Well, you can just kind of do it with your body weight to begin with.
Yep.
So we want to just stand.
Yep.
You can have your feet closer together, or you can do wide leg, depending on how you're comfortable. And then just, you want to bend down like you're touching your toes, but you want to make sure that your spine is in neutral. If you have a little bit of a bend to your knees at the end of your range, then that's okay too.
Yep, absolutely fine. And then the other thing too is, of course, you want to be as neutral as possible, but go ahead and come down again. So she's going down like this. Even if it wasn't heavy weight, if it was just body weight, she could round her back out a little bit, and that would be fine. Like a little bit of rounding is not a big deal. And in fact, if you watch elite level power lifters, they do round their backs out.
Yeah.
Be aware though that there is a slight increased risk of injury to discs and other things in your back with it rounded out, but it's not a big deal. Or you could take a broom or a dowel rod and do the same thing. So if you're at home and you just have a broom, great. Just use your broom to go ahead and do that action. And this is probably one of the best exercises, again, even though you probably injured your back picking things up, you want to build resilience and strength in the same actions that actually caused the injury, right? So she's bending down like that. She can bend her knees a little bit. She can flex her back if you want. All that's available. Just get back doing the action. I have a video if you want to see it on YouTube. Type in Vizniak disc, where I injured my own low back, and deadlifts were a key part of that rehab routine for me. All right. Anything else you want to add to it?
Actually, for these, if you feel a little bit more comfortable, you're adding some weights to it. You're actually also working on a lot of your shoulders as well, to hold the weight up. So you do want to make sure that when you go down, you're not dropping everything. You want to have everything stabilized.
Yeah,
good, on your upper
exactly.
body. Exactly.
Good rigid engagement, so you're actually able to stabilize yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, hopefully you found this video useful, and we thank you very much for your time. Bye.